Yeah, right for a while, yeah. Now, you know, on the telephone news earlier this morning, they talked about it getting about 4 inches. And now when I back then, they're talking about an inch or an inch or less, stuff like that. I can't like that report better, so I'll leave my radio station on that channel. Start snowing, we'll have to do what they do in Norway. Let her snow.
Eat more lutefisk.
In 8, that's what they reported this morning. There's some roads out there that are.
Yeah, I heard what Charlotte said about
Clearly.
really clearly.
Good morning, lady.
Oh, so we had to do that route.
Morning.
Morning.
Is rain here?
I haven't heard any.
There he is.
I was just saying, I haven't heard
Good
any.
morning. Good morning. Second snowdrift. We say that.
Good morning.
Yeah. Yeah. James,
You got lots of good words this morning? Good day to check water runoff.
That's true. Yeah, it's better this than the alternative step of snow that would have been required to get this. Might have been busy. Those would have been soft with all of them, you know.
Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We're going to call the meeting of the Codington County Commissioners to order. If you'd please rise, I'll have Commissioner Waterman lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Catch my breath here. Yep, faster in the elevator. Number 2 is a call for public comment that may be submitted in person or via the telephone with the numbers 605-882-6248 or 605-882-6297. And if you have a cell phone, we'd appreciate it if you'd silence out in the hallway and do so. Thank you. Number 3, is there any
No.
conflict of interest?
No.
No.
Number 4, need a motion to approve
So
the
moved.
agenda for the 19th.
Second.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Gable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, need a motion to approve the minutes of the November 12th meeting of the commission.
So moved.
Motion by Johnson. Second by Gable. Is there any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'm gonna just take just a little, switch it a little bit here. We have a guest that I'd like to come up and we're gonna just have him introduce himself in kind of like the public comment section.
Good morning.
I push the green button on. There you go.
Morning, Commissioners. Thank you for giving me just a couple minutes. My name is Glenn Vilhauer. I'm here today. I'm your newly elected senator from District 5. When I say that, I still kind of wonder what in the heck did I get myself into. But anyway, the voters saw fit to send me to appear. I'm excited about the idea, the possibility. It's going to be an interesting session from what I'm already hearing and seeing and observations that I'm making myself. But anyway, I just want to touch base with you folks a little bit. I think we probably had a pretty good working relationship between our delegation from Pierre and this body over the years. And I want to keep that going. I want the lines of communication to be open. If you have ideas that you want to bounce off me or our delegation here in District 5 or vice versa, if there's things that come up in Pierre that I want you to be aware of, I definitely want to keep the lines of communication open. There's no doubt that we're kind of unique in District 5. We've got 3 new legislators coming in, and we've got some big shoes to fill, looking at those that are departing. When we look at Lee Schoenbeck as President Pro Tem of the Senate and Hugh Bartles as Speaker of the House, and also Byron Clee. So we got some big shoes to fill. I'm not going to appear with any kind of big agenda, or I have no illusions that I'm going to, shake up the world out there. But by what I say or do out there, just want to work hard and listen and do the best I can to represent the citizens of this district and the state in general. So again, just want to introduce myself this morning and let me know that I'm here to help out if I can. And again, thank you for your time.
Yes.
Do you have any questions of me as long as I'm here? I'll try to keep in touch as best I can. I hope to use the media outlets as available throughout the session to keep people in the loop. But again, if something comes up, let me know.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank
Yep,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Bet.
And good luck.
Yeah.
You'll do fine.
Okay, let's move down to number 6, discussion possible action to approve distribution of compensation for County Road 20 construction easements.
Morning, Malin.
Lynn, hello?
Okay, good morning. Thanks for the spot on the agenda and the time. So I guess I just wanted to first run through, I prepared a memorandum, and I'm not sure if that was distributed or not, but I can quickly read through it nonetheless. So during the planning phases of preparing for the County Road 20 reconstruction project, the county indicated it would be imperative to have construction easement with adjacent landowners due to the existing right-of-way being only 66 feet wide. Banner and Codington County participated in landowner meetings with the landowners along the project and identified easement needs and negotiated just compensation, remaining consistent to all. That was something that Rick was particularly adamant about, is that the county would be consistent to all landowners across there, and not independently negotiate with landowners accordingly. Of course, the compensation was provided at the request of the county with anticipated damage to crops for the 2024 growing season and anticipated impact to crops for the 2025 growing season, as well as long-term grade changes along the right-of-way line for some properties. So I did provide a table of the landowners, the legal description of their property, and the compensations due. We did utilize the South Dakota DOT local government assistance right-of-way form to offer easement acquisition letters and receive signatures from all of the landowners on each independent letter associated, stating that they understood the easement that they were providing for the construction, what their compensation would be for that easement, and then the terms in which the easement area would be remain accessible to the contractor for 1 year past the completion of the project, to allow for any corrective or restorative work to take place if that is deemed necessary, particularly if vegetation doesn't establish that sort of stuff. So as you can see in that table there, I have the landowners, the land descriptions, and then the compensation. You can see in a couple of those landowners compensation, instead of monetary compensation or in lieu of monetary compensation, we worked with them to locate approaches in certain areas that were still acceptable based off of the safety criteria for the road design standards. But it was, I guess, that negotiation part took place. I do have, and I'll give these to you Brenda, all of the signed easement documents, the Codington County can have those for your records. But I guess my request would be, and I don't even know that I know the proper approach to this other than to ask the commission for approval to distribute this compensation and then work with whether it be the auditor's office or treasurer's office or whomever to make that take place. So
I'll make a motion to authorize that
I'll second it.
compensation.
Motion by Van Dusen, second by Johnson to pay these compensations to the landowners.
I have a question. Do those
Yep.
easements need to be recorded?
no, they do not. They're temporary construction easements.
Okay,
and so they
that's
do not
right, they would
require
be
recording.
temporary.
Yep.
Okay,
Correct. So,
understand.
yep, different than maybe a permanent easement for like a structure project or something like that. So.
I'd make a comment too. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Really, in the years that I've been on, this is the first time we've ever seen anything in hard copy like this.
Sure, well,
And I appreciate it. You know, we know that these easements are granted, but we never know to whom and for how much and so here it is. Thank you.
yeah, no, you bet. It was the only way to be able to keep track,
Yeah.
honestly, on my end too. So, and I was just, again, appreciative of the landowners along there that were willing to, provide that easement, you know, and understanding that, that their properties are impacted for more than just the temporary use. So yeah, they were good partners along there to, allow the project to take place
Good.
too. So.
Good to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank them
And
as
thank
well.
the easement people, thank the people that granted the easements, thank them. I know we expect a lot out of our landowners in our county and sometimes we forget to thank them when they do stuff like this, so thank you, people.
Yeah, when you get that many involved in just a 2-mile stretch there,
Yeah.
that's a super job to get it all done because it's not always as easy as what it sounds like.
Now, if we could
That's
get that
the
stretch
motion.
bladed, we'd be home free.
Yep. Is there any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
So just work with Brenda on the,
Sounds good. Thank you. We'll do that.
okay.
Okay, let's just move down to number 7. Discussion possible action to authorize chair to sign the contract for engineering services with Banner Associates for Codington County Road 20 paving.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable.
I don't want to be motion hog.
You want to just go over?
Yeah, I can quickly provide just a little bit of background to what's provided in that contract. So this, of course, is the next phase of County Road 20 improvements. It's something that the Highway Department had budgeted for the 2025 year, and obviously was discussed with the local adjacent landowners and stakeholders as part of the landowner meetings that were had this past spring. What this would entail would be Banner providing the construction documents, the contract documents, offering the bidding, and then the construction contract administration for the paving of that 2-mile stretch of roadway. So it essentially encompasses the engineering work that would have been tied to the grading this year, but obviously covers the paving stretch for this next year. So.
Not to exceed $60,000.
Correct.
We want to put that in the motion. I'm not sure. Who made it?
Yeah, I made a motion already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Include that in the. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Thank you.
So it's in the contract anyway.
Yeah, it is. I seen that, Lee. I just wanted to point that out.
When do they anticipate that to begin?
That's a good question. So I guess if you would ask my recommendation would be that it would not begin until at least June 15th, or even possibly July 1st before you would commence the paving operations on that roadway, you know, for multiple reasons. But one, obviously, you want to be able to get through the spring thaw and you know, load limits and that sort of stuff, and allow that grade to essentially reestablish, firm back up, weep out some of the excess moisture that's gonna soak in over the winter. And then evaluate that grade for any, you know, potentially unsuitable areas before you'd put pavement on it.
Yeah.
We found that if you start to try to pave a grade like that, earlier in the year, you know, quickly after the spring thaw, that you may not catch the potentially unsuitable areas, and then you have pavement on top of that where you wish you would have remedied it prior to. So I don't, it'll be a short-term project paving that roadway for a contractor. And I don't think there should be a big rush to get into it. So that way you
okay.
make sure your long-term investment is protected. So.
Good advice.
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you,
Thank
Waylon.
you.
Okay, we'll go on to monthly reports.
Hey, Lynn, you want to turn your mic on there? There you go.
We'll go right in the highway as long as Lynn's up here already.
Yep.
Just stay stationed.
So we finished our fall mowing a couple weeks ago, so we wrapped up with that. The lighting project for the shop, the truck parking and the storage building has been completed. He actually came in on Veterans Day and did the shop while nobody was there, so.
Good.
That's a huge improvement out there, huge improvement. Snow equipment's been installed on the trucks and on the blades. And they're currently getting the sanders loaded now, so we're ready for whatever comes. The last couple of weeks, the blades have been blading the gravel roads, trying to get them shaped up and ready for freeze up here. So they've been going out every day working on them. And then lastly, the highway department staff has, excuse me, been working on riprap projects in the western part of the county. Yesterday, they finished up a spot by Stink Lake. The water was way down. It gave us a chance to get in there and do some touch up, and we've got several other roads that we're gonna try and touch up yet before we get too much snow.
Right.
But we can do that when it's colder here. So that's about it.
Good.
I just have a question for you. I'm sure you're aware of the mowing issue that we had out on by Derby Downs out there, 31st Street. And
Yes.
I know you've had contact with the city on that. So before we get into next spring here, I'd like to have a conversation with the property owner there, or who city has indicated that they're not going to mow that this next year.
Sure.
And so does that become our responsibility, the landowner's responsibility, or?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the township or the landowner or,
Okay,
you know, cause the city's
So-
on one side of
on the
the
road.
road.
Yeah, the city that we're talking about out there is by Derby Downs there, that gravel road on the west side of Derby Downs as it
Golf
runs.
course road.
Golf course road as it runs to the west. The city's always mowed the south side of that. And this year they've indicated that they're not going to do that anymore, and the grass got kind of high there. And so they asked the county to kind of assume responsibility with that and work with the property owner to take care of it. And they ended up actually going out and mowing it one more time this year, just to get it done, because before the plows had to go out there and mow. So I think that needs to be put on the radar for this next spring, so we can have that conversation either with the township or whoever to make sure that that
Right.
gets done, because that's going to become our responsibility.
You know, in the townships, the landowner is responsible for doing the fall mowing.
Okay, yeah, okay,
So
Unless the township decides to hire it out,
Okay.
and some do.
right,
okay.
And that is Lake Township.
yes.
Yeah, it would be
Yes.
there. So just so Lake Township puts that on the radar, that they're going to be responsible for that, because the city isn't going to do it anymore. So.
Right.
I wanna-
But yes, there was lots of calls on that.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of discussion on that. So,
We could have mowed it lots of times for.
yeah, yeah.
Could have burned her off.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I knew that you were aware of that. I just
Right.
wanted to make sure that
Yep.
we were watching it. So,
Okay, let's move down to 9, discussion possible action to approve a quote to purchase a copier for the highway department. Is that this?
Yeah, there should.
A and B?
There's 2 quotes there.
Oh.
So we got two quotes for a new copier. The copier we currently have is a leased machine. And we've had a few issues with it, so we decided to try a different way. Lori visited with Shauna. And they have one from A&B, and this would be a similar machine to what they have, and they've been very happy with what they have.
Is this a lease or a purchase?
This is a purchase.
Purchase.
We found out from the state auditors, it's in the county's best interest to purchase these rather than to lease going forward.
Okay.
It's a new machine or
Yes,
I see a 22,000 and an 18,000, 3750. Discounted price 18,000.
Discount of
Trade.
18,000, yeah.
from my understanding, the one for A&B was $3,750
Yeah,
to
Right.
purchase that.
that's what it says here anyway.
Yeah,
So do you have that in the budget?
yes.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion by Van Dusen, second by Johnson, to purchase this new copier. Any other questions?
It'll come out of our supply budget.
Okay. Oh, okay. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yes, thanks, Lynn. Okay, let's move down to number 10. Action to advertise and hire
Oh,
full-time.
Facility
Oh,
manager.
B.
Oh.
Facility, yeah,
Going down the numbers, sorry.
moving,
Come on up, Steve.
moving right along here.
We weren't gonna let you hang.
Too many other things on the agenda there that.
Well, just, I moved down and take, check one off, it's like, well, I just gotta keep going. Sorry.
Nope. All right, we'll start out ag building. Fire suppression system continues to be installed. The construction of the parking lot is mostly finished with some corrections that are on a punch list. And then government buildings and detention center, the contractors have a few items to complete. And then I have on my minutes here, and I apologize, but I'll correct it, is meet with deputy sergeant, but it's chief's deputy. Brent Solom on some security concerns here in the courthouse. Then at the park, the staff ended their work last Friday, having one building converting to a cabin nearly 80% complete.
Wow.
And then I've been talking with Camp Spot, the reservation system provider, on setting up an area for long-term camping available to be online. There probably have to be other changes done with the other campsites also. So that, so. Weed, fall spraying has been completed for the season and all the equipment is winterized. Just go a little side note, this year was a little bit unique. We only had there was a couple days that got really cold, but yet it wasn't enough really to knock away and kill all our noxious weeds. They were still pretty green yet and growing yet. Well, they're stagnant, but they were still pretty green yet. So it's kind of unique fall season this year has been. Nothing on the West Nile. And then I'm gonna make note on Thursday, December 12th, there will be 2 defensive driving courses to be held by the safety benefits. This will be available for county employees at the extension building. This is in conjunction with municipal utilities in the city of Watertown also, so.
Anybody that operates a county vehicle
Should
attend that.
should attend it, or if you are going out on county business and so that, even with personal, so that you should. This thing is required every 3 years to have this training, so that by safety benefits, so it is time. We have a few new employees also.
Have they set the times? I had that
Times,
email.
yeah,
but
I will
wasn't
send an email out, so that, but I believe it's 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock, I believe. But I'll double check, but I'll send an email out to everybody on this. That concludes what I have. Any questions?
The question, and I mentioned this on the extension building. Okay, the parking lot is pretty well done.
Mhm.
But now, as far as the replacing of the poles or fixing of the poles, what's the process there? Where are we at on that and what's gonna happen?
Currently, right now, I have not met with, the engineers on that, and so we will look and scope what their, uh, resolution is to do that. I know there's been talking of a couple different things, of digging them out, putting cement pillars up to the post. So we had for the existing post or you had mentioned, so we had, putting posts alongside
Yeah.
the old post, those kind of options, but one of the things that I'm not as concerned right now to a point with that sidewalk alongside, at least if there's weight on it, it won't kick out as easy,
Yeah,
and so so we will
Yeah.
get looking at that. So, all right.
thank you.
Yep.
Anybody got any other questions for Steve?
Nope.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Steve.
Now we can move down to number 10. Action to advertise and hire full-time correctional officer position to fill a vacancy.
Yep, we just had one person have a different life opportunity come up, so she's moving. So we have a full-time person moving out, so we just need to replace that with a new person.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Van Duzen to advertise and hire for this full-time correction officer. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, number 11, action to accept a survey proposal for the new jail construction site.
Mr. Chair, I think I can address that one.
Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner Gable.
So I'll make the motion to approve it. The quote is for $1,800. This is the jail site, but Highway 212. It's incorporated in the project cost is estimated, or we want to get going with it this year. So if we need to, it's only $1,800. I suppose there's a possibility we might need to take our commissioner's contingency when we reconcile everything. But my motion is to approve this quote.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Van Duzen. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving down to number 12. We are going to have to move that to next week. That's almost ready, but it's just not quite. So we're gonna put it on the agenda for next week. Okay, number 13, action to declare office equipment at the treasurer's office surplus to be destroyed.
Right, so she has a Laser Jet Pro M404 DN printer that she would like to have surplus to be destroyed.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable.
She did say one of the boards went out, it cannot be repaired.
Man, those are nice printers too.
Okay.
M404s are nice printers.
Who made the motion second?
I did.
And then Lee second.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Number 14, action to approve abatement.
No abatement.
No abatements. Number 15, action to approve claims for payment.
We do have those claims. I put that on your desk and vast majority of them. So the total amount of claims are $65,469.76. Of that amount, $34,023.16 are other claims. Elections, the elections amount, this is a vast majority of what I have left. I have a few straggler claims that will still need to be cleared up, but that amount was $31,446.60 to pay all the election workers, rental on the building. And that was the majority of that.
Brenda, just for, sorry, but
Motion by Gable,
second.
second by Van Dusen.
Yes.
Okay, we can have
What did you-
discussion.
I just have a couple of questions. I noticed that there's some county employees here that are
Yep.
receiving election compensation.
They work on election night after hours, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That is why they would get compensated. If it would be during county work hours, they would not.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do we, I don't know, I didn't add it. What's it cost a county to put on like a general election? Do we have a pretty close?
I'll have to go back through and from the beginning and figure out all those claims for the general. I mean, we had the primary too, which added in some extra costs with the post-election, all the recounts. I will add, I will have that on the agenda for next week because it will need to be noted in the minutes, but I did have the post-election audit last Friday. Turned out matched 100%. The hand count matched the tabulators, so. That turned out well,
Super.
but
That's good.
I will get you a grand total.
How it's supposed to be.
Yes. Well, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Most generally, the counties that have found errors, it's been human error on the recounts. And they have them go back through and redo it and then it's matches, so. There we are.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. No other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I also have the 911 payment to the city of Watertown for September distribution in the amount of $37,498.80.
Mr. Chair, I'll excuse myself from this one.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any other question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That it for the
Yep,
payment.
that's it for claims.
Um,
And no budget supplements
bu-
this week. No personnel, no travel.
personal travel. Number 19, public notice of possible quorum of commissioners. That's in a couple of weeks,
Yep.
the December 5th Farmer Business Banquet. It's at the event center this year. Do you have any other things in your book, Commissioner Johnson?
I'm looking here. I think that we're pretty, that's Thanksgiving coming up. There might be I don't know if there is or not a forum at the Glacial Lakes Ethanol Plant Annual Meeting. Which is the 25th, November 25th. And I don't think, see, tomorrow is the housing conference and I will be attending that. I think I'm the only one. So, okay, that's it.
Okay. Let's, number 20, is there any old business? Number 21, any new business? Number 22, it's time for the open, if there's any other public comments. Seeing none. Any commissioner comments? Okay, there is a need, number 23, for executive session under contract negotiation, number 3.
Personnel.
Oh, and personnel.
Yep.
And number 1.
Move to adjourn to executive session.
Motion by Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Gable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we'll move into executive session.